how's it going? Today we are up in my front flower bed area, a place where we haven't done too much work lately. This is actually one of the first flower beds I ever put in around 8 years ago. And since that time I have learned a lot, and I have kind of changed my mind on some things and styles and things and whatnot and whatever. But this area has kind of become something that I'm not super in love with, and I would like to change some things about it. And this is kind of the first video in that process of starting to convert this front flower bed area from what it is right now into something even more beautiful, hopefully soon. So I want to start by just giving you a little bit of an overview of the area right now. This front circle section here I actually really like. There's quite a few things in here that I am happy with, and I like most of everything that's going on in this space. There's usually a flagpole right here in the middle that goes up, and it's very beautiful and I love it. But the rest of this space here is not really my favorite. So this is, let me back up a little bit here and show you. This is the front of our house. There's our front porch, and there's the area that we redesigned, at the beginning of this channel over a year ago, which is crazy. That's where we planted the North Pole arborvitaes. If any of you old OGs are still around when we first planted those, that's those right there, and that's that area. So if we swing this way, this is the area that we're talking about. And let's get in here a little closer and I'll show you what is really going on here. So in this corner, I have some gorgeous foxglove, which I cut back for the year. And bless their heart, they're like shooting up little blooms still, but the main show of color from the foxglove is over. And this entire section here gets full of foxglove. I have seeds all through here that spring up new plants and it reseeds itself. So I love the foxglove here. I think I'm going to leave it there. But right beside it here, we have an old rose. We have some lilies. I have an ornamental grass. This big guy here is a coneflower or echinacea. I have a few more little foxglove dotted in around the back there. Another old rose. A terrible looking salvia. This is another ornamental grass. Another rose. There is some coreopteris here. A hardy mum there. And then here we have a huge butterfly bush, which I love this bush. It smells so good and it is constantly covered in butterflies, and I absolutely love it. But it is a little too big for this area. So when I planted this 8 years ago, like I said, I didn't know as much as I know now, and I had no idea that this guy was going to get so big, and I cut him back really heavily every single year. Every single year I cut him down to like 2 or 3 feet, and this is how big he gets. It's massive. So we have this beautiful butterfly bush, but it smells so good. So what I'm going to be doing with this is I'm going to wait until the fall, and then I will be cutting this back and transplanting it to an area that is better suited for this to really get to its full potential and be glorious. Behind this butterfly bush, I have a whole bunch of things tucked in that you can't see. Right there, I have a Brennera. The name escaped me for a minute. I have a couple of different lilies, some more coreopteris. I have some lily of the valley here. And right above that, I have this rose of Sharon, which is beautiful. I absolutely love it. And it is a standard. I trained this one here and this one here as Rose of Sharon standards, which all that means is that instead of a big bush, they have like kind of a tree trunk and then they branch out from there. So I love those. I love the pop of color and how they kind of stand up above the bed. And then beneath this we have, I actually planted these last year, I believe it was in a video. We have some Baptisia here, which is, it blooms beautiful purple blooms in the spring, and then it kind of just has, it almost reminds me of a eucalyptus look to it. It kind of has like that icy blue green foliage and kind of rounded leaves, not quite as round as a eucalyptus, but sort of similar, like kind of puts me in the mind of it. And then in front here we have a drift of white Veronica. Oh no, not Veronica, I'm sorry, white salvia. And I keep wanting to come in and trim this back, but it's had like a little bit of bloom the whole time. And I don't know if you guys can see that bumblebee right there or not, but the bumblebees, the butterflies, everything have just been all over this, and so I haven't cut it back yet, although I could probably really use it. In this area here, this is where we're going to be working today. I had some old daisies in here that seriously got like 5 feet tall, and every year I just really did not like them because they would flop over and just look terrible. So I dug those out the other day. I have some more foxglove here, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be leaving here or not. And then we'll talk about these guys here in a minute. And guys, if you hear that machinery in the background, I apologize. My neighbor is putting a new well in. So that is the noise that you hear. But then we have some irises. We have a hedge of lavender around this space, and this just kind of goes into that big round garden that I said I really like. And someday I will give you like a full tour of this space and what's in it. But that's not really my focus today because I like most of what's going on here, so we're not going to be messing with this. But I will highlight this sedum. This is Autumn Joy Sedum, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Every year it comes back better and better. It is drought tolerant. It's like more of a plant that says leave me alone, like no fertilizer, no water, more sun the better. And it looks like this. It's absolutely gorgeous. It turns a bright pink in the fall, the blooms do, and it is absolutely one of my favorites. So I just thought I'd point that out because it's looking glorious right now. Okay, so to get back to this area over here and what we are going to be adding in today, sort of the reason I wanted to give you an overview of this space as well is so that you guys can kind of see that I have some different textures as far as like leaf textures, strappy leaves, ferny leaves, big bold leaves, but they're all pretty much the same color. They're all in the green family. And even though some of them are more of a blue green or a bright green or a dark green, they're still in the green family. And I really wanted to bring in something that has some different foliage. So this right here, this plant, I'm not even going to attempt to say the name. I'm just not. That's it right there. Something chocolate. I think the common name is white snakeroot, maybe. Don't ask me why it's called that. It is full sun to part sun. Its height is 60 to 72 inches. Spacing is 24 inches. Let me see here. I can clean this off enough that we can read it. So yeah, zone 4 to 9, pretty cold, winter hardy. But really what I want to highlight about this plant is its beautiful dark foliage. So it definitely has a green hue to it, a green cast to it, but it also has a lot of dark purple in it. And if you can see, the back side of the leaves have even more purple in them. And I think it's going to be a beautiful contrast to all the green in here. And then this plant also produces beautiful white flowers in late summer to early fall. So I'll pop a picture up on the screen so you guys can kind of get an idea of what these will look like when they start to bloom, because obviously they're not in bloom right now. So the plan is just to get these planted today. I have zero experience planting these, growing these, or anything with these, to be honest with you. I've never even heard of this plant before, but I was drawn to its foliage and its beautiful flowers that it gets in late summer, fall, and I thought it was perfect and exactly what I was looking for. So I will let you guys know how it turns out. I've done a little bit of research online, but really I have no hands-on experience with this plant. So this is going to be one of those where you throw it in the ground and you see how it does, and I will let you guys know how it goes. And yeah, there's not a whole lot going on in this video today, just planting a couple of things, but really what I wanted to do was give you an overview of this space, because this area will be changing dramatically over the next few months. Over the fall and into the spring, we'll be planting more in this area. And so to give you guys a little bit of like a before shot, and to kind of encourage you guys too, because a lot of times whenever we start gardening, we just kind of throw things in and we find things we like and we throw them in the ground. And sometimes in a couple of years we decide we don't like it anymore, or it's not really what we're looking for, and it's no longer appealing to us. And it's totally okay to come into a space and rework it. And it's okay to move things around, and it's just about doing it in the proper times so that things survive. If you want to move it and hope that it survives and doesn't die on you and things like that. So yeah, it's just an encouragement to show you guys, like, it's okay to move things around. It's okay to change your mind about your landscape and how you did something. There's probably things that I'm planting, today and now that I'll be moving in a few years and I'll be like, what in the heck was I thinking? That's crazy. But that's just sort of the nature of the garden. The garden is constantly changing and evolving. There are constantly things coming and going, and your styles change and what you love kind of changes. So that's just the nature of the beast. And I think that's kind of what keeps gardening so fun. You okay? That's kind of what keeps gardening so fun, is because it's constantly changing, it's constantly evolving, and you're constantly just engaged in something that doesn't just go dormant. It doesn't just, once you get it to a certain point, it's like hands off and nothing ever happens again. So we are going to get these plants in the ground. I will show you guys that, and then I'll give you kind of an overview of the area with these in the area, and I'm hoping that they really bring a beautiful interest to the garden, a little bit of depth and dimension as well. Okay, so there they are. I decided to leave the foxglove that are here. I'm going to let them bloom, set their seed, and then I will shake it to where I actually want them to go. I kind of want them to fill in the spaces between those. I think that would be beautiful. But for now, this is its second year in the ground, these ones here, which means next year they will put on a beautiful show, and I would rather leave them than try to transplant them and hope for the best at this point. It's the middle of August, and planting and transplanting things when it's so hot outside is kind of a gamble, and I don't have to move these right now, so I'm just gonna leave them there. But I think this is going to really be beautiful. I can't wait for its white flowers. I'm definitely going to be showing you guys when they start to bloom. And I kind of just did a little bit of a drift. I have a trio, so I did one back, one slightly more forward, and then one back again. And like I said, I'll probably do foxglove and whatnot kind of mixed around in there, and I think it's going to be beautiful. Let me give you just a little bit different of an angle here. So here we have the front flower bed. You can see those in the background, and then the green beyond that. I think it just brings some weight and some dimension. And when you get some other flowers and things kind of mixed in around there, I think it's gonna just make those things pop and look absolutely beautiful. Now, I was not going to turn the camera around and show you my face. I was just gonna sign off without showing you my face. But if any of you else are dealing with the heat and the humidity that is happening right now, you feel my pain. It just stormed here about an hour or so ago, which I'm so thankful for. We needed the rain really, really badly. But now I'm pretty sure the humidity is like 90% and it is like 94 degrees outside. And so if any of you know what I'm talking about, this can be a little bit of a difficult time to get out and garden. And the reason I bring that up is because it can also be a difficult time for your plants. So you are probably not planting things right now like I am, because you're really not supposed to. They suggest that you plant things early in the fall or late in the spring, things like that, depending on your zone and your climate. The middle of August, in the dead of heat and humidity, is not the ideal time to be planting. And I just wanted to address that because, I don't know, I am doing it, and just because I'm doing it does not mean that's what you should do. If you would like to plant in August like I do, go after it. Like, do it. Do your own thing. Things are not going to die per se. You're just going to have to keep an eye on them. So whenever you're planting in kind of harsh conditions like this, when it's like really hot outside, you just want to make sure that you keep things really well watered. If you need to protect something with an umbrella or a canopy until it gets used to that like blazing sun, sometimes you might have to do things like that. But that's just sort of the nature of the game if you want to be planting in the dead of summer like I am. So that's what I'll be doing with these. I don't think these need any shade. Where I picked them up at the garden center, they are in full sun as well. So I think they'll be fine. They won't need any protection from the sun, but I will be watering these like crazy. And yeah, can you literally see the sweat rolling down my forehead? It's gross. But that's just reality. And I wanted to show you guys a little bit of reality today. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope it was fun seeing this area kind of in its before state and seeing hopefully where it transforms into in the next several months. And I have a beautiful vision for this place, so I'm really excited about it. And we will see you guys in the next video.